Hello everybody, my name is Griff. I'm coming to you just after completing the Fates Forsaken event, going through the story, going through the raid, going through the boss battles, and getting all the convictions necessary to fully maximum bound Harle, who is our free adventurer for this event. And I just briefly wanted to do a little bit of my impressions of this unit, explain some of the more in-depth mechanics that he has, and then show off a little showcase of a clear of Master Ciella that really, I think, showcased some of the coolness of this unit. So as we see here, we have the Black Raven Harle. Let's see, does it mention his backstory if we go back here? We have to go through a lot of... Yes, a cunning knight willing to use even the most underhanded of methods. He was the chief of Capital Guard until someone disposed of him in another world, and his thoughts have been filled with revenge ever since his return. So yes, as part of the event, you find out that this is actually a somewhat different Harle. It's a little bit weird, it's a little bit stupid, but this is Harle. He's going to be our ally now. But he still has his underhandedness, and that's really cool, and he has a very unique mechanic that I really like about him. So, as we go into his skills, I just have a standard build here. This is the team that I used to clear Master Ciella with him with. Basic wind support with Lone as well, and then I added Leif to this comp, simply because Leif and Harle are comrades, enemies, rivals, worthy rivals, whatever you want to put it as. As far as builds for him that I'm just going the standard blade, which is basically just a skill damage for a specific type, some kind of strength. For this case, I use Flurry Punisher because he has a skill that uses multiple hits. Stormlash Punisher, critical damage, which we'll get into why it's so important. Another just basic strength buff, and then the 2 boons effects at the end to give him skill haste and strength. I could actually swap in this one. Nope. Yes, that one instead, which actually would give him another 5% on his 4 strike as well. So I don't know why I didn't do that for the clear, but it did. But as we get into this unit, I do want to talk about his special mechanics. So first, we're going to start with his first skill. Raven's Ridicule. Does damage to enemies directly ahead during this attack. If the user is hit by an attack that can be avoided with its damage immune provided by skill, the skill attack will be interrupted and the user will instead initiate a counterattack. This counterattack will do damage to enemies directly ahead. So if you notice, it has the damage there, and then has the counterattack damage. These will stack on each other, so it will, like as it says, it will interrupt the attack. Basically, he'll be doing his hits, he'll stop, he'll dash through them very similarly to Leif's second skill in the shielding stance, where he will like dash through them and then a bunch of hits will come out after, or Galaluka, something like that. Very similar to that. It is very cool. It has 2,500 SP, about 2,600 SP. Very strong. Very cool looking skill, very flashy skill. And as we get into flashy skills, we have Raven's Pansy, which actually has a unique zoom in effect when you're in single player on his face, very similarly to Summer Udin's rather. In Harle's case, he kind of like leans in and he does his like little bow curtsy and the effect goes off. And this is a very unique ability. Grants all team members other than the user reflective evasion and grants the Corveterie, I think that's how you pronounce that, effect. So it costs 5,000 SP. As special effects, reflective evasion 2 charges, does not stack, so all your team members get reflective evasion. Then Corveterie gives you damage diffusion of 1 stack. So I'm just going to say it gives you damage diffusion because I don't fully know how to pronounce that. I have dyslexia, so pronouncing words like that are hard for me. But if we go to the help section, and I believe this is the first unit that has it. I think maybe Galacleo might have this, or not Galacleo, rather Eucatacleo might have this as well. But if we go to the help section and we go to special effects, I believe. Let's see, yes, special effects, and we go all the way down, we will get damage diffusion. Damage diffusion is a unique buff that, when the user takes 2 or more damage from an attack, reduces damage taken by 50% and spreads out the 50% among the rest of the users. So essentially, if you took 20 damage and you had this effect, you would take 10 damage, and then the next 10 damage will be split up above the other 3 teammates, or in a raid probably. It might be 3, it might be whoever else is in the raid. Basically, it makes it so that your team takes half the damage that you're taking while you're using Harle. This is very in character, because he's kind of one to use others for his own benefit. So it's pretty cool that he gives them a buff, which is like they can evade better. But if they do get hit, or rather if he gets hit, they will take his damage. Pretty cool. And then we have his normal collab, which is strength, and then his chain collab, which is HP equals water res rather. This is very standard, an offensive and a defensive collab combination. Then we have Demon's Bane. Most free units have a type of Bane effect on them to go against the rated boss. I'm not sure, but I believe this will work against Ibis in the Sinister Dominion. So it's possible that he will have a 30% damage boost in that. It's possible that the Ibis is actually a demi-human, but he might be a demon. In the case of Azura, because that's the raid boss, it works against that. But that's not very helpful. So there's that. Then he has 100% free res, which is why I'm running low on in this team for the clear. And then we have Raven's Vengeance 2. Applies critical vulnerability to an enemy for 60 seconds when the enemy's attack activates the damage diffusion effect of his second skill. The user's critical rate will be increased by 50% against enemies with critical vulnerability. So essentially, if you have the damage diffusion effect, if you get hit, for example, like a move that you can't dodge, like a purple or a screen wipe, like Ciella has the one where she pulls her wings in and then pushes them out and it damages everyone, it will give them a debuff that will last for 60 seconds and basically will increase your critical rate by 50%. And additionally, his first skill, when he does the counterattack, it deals critical damage. So if you're trying to he has a lot of crit in him. So he's going to want a dagger collab, he's going to want critical damage against Worm Prince, which is why I haven't had it. He would benefit also from critical damage super buff. Those kinds of things are going to be really important to this unit. That's why I have Not here, and I have Leif here again, as I said, just because I wanted to make the theme a little bit, this clear a little bit themed. Not to mention he also has strength double buff, which stacks with Lowen's defense buffs that he gives. So yeah, I think he's a very strong unit. He doesn't fit into necessarily a niche in the meta. For example, like Megastorm Zero is a Stormlash enabler. It was a lot of people's first Stormlash enabler because there was only a couple other units that were gacha 5 stars, so then everyone got Stormlash. He did something a little bit different, but he is a very unique and special character, which is why I like him a lot. I think that this is a really cool idea and concept for a character. Kind of in sort of like a griefing character. If you wanted to, you could get hit by moves when you had the effect from your second skill, and then kind of just grief your teammates if you wanted to. I don't suggest doing that, but it would be funny. But yeah, and then just as I said with building him, you really just want to include the critical damage. You want Dagger Collab backline. In most cases, as always, Not is probably going to be your best pick. She has the critical damage, and then she has the combo equal shapeshift prep, which is extremely strong. So yeah, if you're playing her in co-op, I would suggest you run Not. I would suggest you run Dragon Yule Zanefried, who has Dragon Claws, skill damage, and then I also would recommend you run Mona for the wind damage up. So yeah, that's my review of Harle. He's strong. I like him a lot, and I will be using him as part of this event, as he does have a buff as part of this event, so look forward to that. Might do a themed clear of maybe him and Leif versus the Omega boss fight, or maybe just him. Who knows? But yep, that's going to be it for this video. I'm now going to transition to the gameplay section where you show him off in the video, so look forward to that. There are some very cool moments with his second skill. There's one that I know of where the crashing wave is coming in and it kind of like surfs around him. Very cool looking. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.
Accept despair. Despair before this cruel reality.
Let's apply the finishing touches.
I've got your back. Pitiful. I will set you free now.
Witness my devotion.
Further gratitude, this hopelessness clouds your thoughts.
Raven's patsy.
None can impede the cruel reality I bring.
Raven's ridicule.
Oh man, I feel heavy.
Time.
I will purge your stale deception.
Raven's ridicule.
I will thrust you into the depths of despair. I will
Raven's
thrust you into the depths of despair. None can impede the cruel reality I bring.
I thank you for your kindness.
Does hopelessness cloud your thoughts?
Raven's ridicule.
I will purge your stale
Go
deception.
on and die.
I will purge your stale deception.
Raven's patsy. Do go on and die.
You will accomplish
Raven's
nothing.
ridicule.
All is futility.
Witness my devotion.
We have to attack
Raven's patsy. Raven's ridicule. I wield the power of the royal family.
None can impede the cruel reality I bring.
Behold the bond between human and dragon.
Raven's ridicule.
I will thrust you into the depths of despair. I will thrust you into the depths of despair. Does hopelessness cloud your thoughts? None can impede the cruel reality I bring.
Raven's patsy. Raven's ridicule.
Witness my devotion.
Do go on and die.
I shall unshackle myself from this despair.
Raven's ridicule.
I will purge your stale deception.
Go on and die.
I will purge your stale deception.
I wield the power of the royal family. Raven's patsy.
I will purge your stale deception.
Impressive.
Witness my devotion.
None can impede the cruel reality I bring.
Raven's ridicule.
Does hopelessness cloud your thoughts?
I thank you for your kindness.
Do go on and die.
None shall be saved. You too will despair.
I was a cut of cloud. Naturally.